Something a little bit different today for my vlog. I'm going to demonstrate my recipe for broad beans in olive oil with yoghurt and dill. So broad beans are coming into season now, so this is an ideal time to use this recipe. I've used it so many times now I could probably almost do it blindfolded. Anyway, it's in my book, the 3 R's, Recipes, Reflections and Reminiscences, and I'll put a link below so that you can have a look at that on Amazon. And also we won't really bother at the moment with quantities, because I'll also put that in the descriptor below as well. So the broad beans we have here, they are going to be shucked and boiled in salted water till they're cooked. And while they're doing that, we'll put some olive oil, Greek olive oil, in a pan and sweat out an onion. Ideally we should have shallots, but I don't have shallots, so I'm going to use part of this onion. I won't need all of this onion. Also with a crushed garlic clove. And when they are sweated out like that, in the meantime I will chop some of this dill. Well, I'm actually going to chop all of the dill. I won't need all of it, so what I'm going to do is I will put what I don't use into ice cube trays, put a little bit of water in, pop them in the freezer, and then I'll have dill to use for other recipes too. So once we've got this sweated out, I'm going to add the broad beans, the cooked broad beans, and the dill, a little bit of seasoning, and a nice good dollop of Greek yogurt. Now it's very, very important you get authentic Greek yogurt, because as you warm the beans through in the olive oil and the onion and the dill, it will split. So I'm going to go now and I'm going to go and shuck those beans, chop that onion, crush that garlic clove and chop the dill, and then I'll come back to you. Well, that's everything nicely prepped up and ready to go. I'm probably using about half the amount of broad beans as in my recipe in my book. That's because there's just the 2 of us and the recipe is for 4 servings. And there's the chopped onion. The rest of the onion I've put in an onion saver and popped in the fridge to use in a different recipe. And there's a crushed clove of garlic and some dill. And there's the rest of the dill in the ice cells, which will be popped with a bit of water in the freezer. If you're not a fan of dill, you could try substituting parsley. And just going back to the yogurt and me stressing how important it is to use Greek yogurt. There are various Greek style yogurts on the market, but do take care, because I have tried using them when I haven't had the real stuff as such, and they do split. So believe me, they do split, and it's worthwhile getting the real McCoy, as they say. Well, I'm going to get on now and I'm going to cook the onion and the garlic in the olive oil, just sweat them down lightly, and cook the broad beans. When I come back, we'll put the whole dish together. Right, well, I need both hands now to finish this recipe off, so Peter's going to do the filming. So we have my cooked and drained off the broad beans. They only took a couple of minutes because they're nice and young and tender. And in the pan here, I've sweated out the onion and the garlic, so they're nice and translucent and just warm. So I'm now going to tip in the broad beans. Oops. And just stir those around really, really gently, because they're so tender. I don't want them to break up. And they're still warm, so it won't take much to incorporate them. Right, so the next thing to do is to add the dill. Put a little bit in to start off with. Again, gently stir to incorporate. And usually see whether I need to add any more. And yes, I'm going to add the last of the dill. That's pretty well lit. So now I need to add a nice spoonful of the Greek yogurt. stir that in again gently. And we're nearly finished now. What I'll do when we stop filming is I'll just check the seasoning. This may need a bit of salt and pepper, might need a little bit more yogurt, but I think that looks fine. I'm going to serve this with a bacon, leek and cheese flan and some nice buttered new potatoes. Also goes well with sort of vegetarian feta and chard pie. And if you want something really simple, just some grilled meats with some new buttered new potatoes and the broad beans, and in particular grilled lamb chops go very well, or barbecued lamb chops go very well with this. If I've forgotten anything, I'll add it in the description below.